and welcome. This is FMA Discussion, doubleheader today, and this is episode 283. And tonight we are featuring GMs, Romy and Ray. And big thanks to GM Ray Floro for making this happen. And Elric, too, I think had some input. So I'm really excited about this episode. However, this episode is going to reveal some truth. And what do I mean by that? I personally feel some of the stellar, significant players like GM Romy and Yuli kind of have not been given the recognition they deserve. Remember, FMA discussion is about bringing truth. You don't have to agree with it or like it, but upon doing the TKI themes, a lot of this stuff became evident. I mean, why? Well, I've been seeing a lot of Guru Brandon's video collection. Guess who was there in Christopher Ricketts' house? GM Romy. So you're trying to tell me he wasn't there? Really? And then to say that GM Yuli doesn't have pure KI. Sorry, that's an erroneous conclusion. I'm training with GM Yuli, and when he separates us from Bahad Sabu, it's the closest thing I've seen to Illustration move back when Brandon showed me early 80 videos. So there's a lot of just erroneous stuff going out there, and this is why we do the theme episodes, to bring out truth and those who should be heard from, who maybe been left out directly, indirectly, what have you. And so I think GM Romy obviously has a significant part in this whole thing coming up. I mean, it's the proof is there. And so anybody that thinks otherwise is sorry. I don't agree with it. But to think that some of these older guys didn't have impact on KI. Another thing is too that's upsetting. There are not certain sanctions that teach the true KI. Well, what does that mean? First of all, when it left Illustrisimo's hands, it wasn't pure in the first place. So there's a couple sanctions that teach pure KI. Okay. So there's a lot of these things that I just want for the community to hear and see, that before, you jump on this bandwagon. Listen, and I've been guilty of such, when I started doing these shows, I listened to people I shouldn't have listened to, and it did steer my opinions. And I regret that. So hopefully you folks are going to watch this. You're going to learn a lot. This would be great. However, there's going to be a lot. I got a lot of questions in, and this could easily be a part two, depending on how these gentlemen feel. So, but before we get to that, I'm going to be bringing it up, and we're going to get started. Welcome. Thank you both for coming on. I appreciate it. Yeah. We have 17 people already jumping in and watching. So I'm thinking that people want to see this. Can you guys hear me okay and everything?
I'm good. Oh,
good. Okay. Good. Okay. So, again, thank you, both of you. And thank you, GM Ray, for assisting with this and helping. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no. Thank you for doing this. This is
great. No, my pleasure. And, so GM Romy, so if I'm correct, 1976 is when you started training with Illustrisimo. Am I correct?
86.
1986. And then, what was that like? I can't imagine what that was like. I mean, just like, what was? Because I know you trained before that. So what stood out about him that immediately you wanted more, I guess?
Well, initially I saw Tatang from a distance, and I saw him making movements, techniques that were very, very familiar to me, because my grandfather had taught me at an early age. I needed to stand on a stool for my grandfather to teach me, and he barely broke 5 foot. And this continued until we were about the same height. And then my schooling took over, and I lost contact, and he was already weak. So when I saw Tatang, I wanted to learn from Tatang, because it would be a continuation of what I had learned from my grandfather. An old sword system that was very, very strongly familiar to me. but I did not have the details of this. I walked up to Tatang, asked him to instruct me. He looked me over for a few seconds, then said, okay. Mm. And that started a very long and beautiful friendship
Mm,
with one of the most remarkable gentlemen I have met. And I have met very remarkable people in my life
mm.
and have been under some very, very remarkable people in my life, in my professional career.
Wow, 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 wow. When you like, what do you know? When you started training with them, whether again, I've seen a lot of footage with you at the Ricketts House, Lynetta Park, and et cetera, and all that. Like, what resonated with you with him? Like, why did you want to keep going? I mean, like, what was special about him? And this will be the same question for you too, GM Ray. So
Sure.
what was what was so magnifying about him that that he just that you wanted more and to continue with him?
Right?
Whoever,
You
oh, you
want me
want to
to
go?
answer?
You can go. Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
You want me
Okay,
to?
okay. First, it was the efficiency of his movements. No wasted movements, no surplus energy expended on eliminating his opponent. And at that time, at 40, I had gone through a lot of development work. The Philippines had just come out of the war. We were totally devastated. We were rebuilding industries. I was a banker, and we were looking over uh, loans for businesses that wanted to come up with production, and therefore I had to look over the production processes and check whether they were going to be efficient or not, because inefficient will mean losses. Anyway, so I was very exposed to time and motion studies and to efficiency studies. And
Mm,
with Tatang, I could not detect a flaw concerning efficiency. And efficiency means you're able to produce something with just this much
mm,
and have economy of effort with the maximum output. So with Tatang, it was that. There were no superfluous movements, no twirling, no nothing. It just went straight to the boom, pok, 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 one, two, three, and that's it. If it were a hardwood stick, then you're finished. If it
yeah,
were a piece of pipe, then you're finished. If it were a sword, you were done with the first strike.
yeah, right. Phew.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Just amazing. I mean, in 1986, I mean, and he was moving still pretty well, right? I mean, it sounds like.
Yes, he was what, maybe 85, 86 years old
Mm,
at that time. And he kept on going that way until about 90, 1990. Okay.
wow.
He, I actually felt that he could have beaten any one of us.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah, young people are sometimes overly cocky, and they can say, ah, this old man, I'm just giving in to him. I'm just wanting to learn from him. But if I wanted to, I could beat him up.
mm,
Just keep quiet. Mhm. Because in my previous life, I had seen men who had killed, and men who killed many men. And Tatang at 86 had not yet forgotten how to kill. when most people would have been retired or dead, and yet he was still at that stage of consciousness, of alertness for threat and for people who would be coming at him from behind. He still had good eyesight at that time. But if you were within, what, maybe 15, 20 feet of him, behind him, then he would turn his head
Hmm.
just to take a look who was coming in.
Just being alert. Yeah.
Yeah, full alertness against threat. And that is how he played. We
Mm,
call we call playing here, uh, but for him it was not play; it was just practice. In the sense of if it were a real opponent, then he would be gone in a few
yeah.
split seconds.
Just incredible. 86, like you say, beating up people a fraction of his age.
Yes. In fact,
You're 20 something years old and you're just getting.
I later met a man who had been with Tatang previous to my meeting Tatang, and he mistook Tatang to be 10 years younger, 76.
Mm,
The way he moved, the way he conducted himself, and his overall resistance to fatigue.
wow.
He was a specimen, a superb specimen.
It's funny you mentioned. I'm going to get to GM Ray, but it's funny you mentioned that. I forget what episode it was. It might have been perhaps Dax and Master Ray's one, but he just physically, it almost like he was just long, tall. He just genetically speaking, he just had it. Obviously with an incredible fighting IQ. I mean, that goes without saying. But it seems like he had the whole package. Is and you guys obviously know better than me, but it just seems like that. What say you, Master Ray? I'm sorry if you need me to repeat the questions, I can.
That's all right. Look, the reason I'm smiling is when Master Romy said like he had the awareness. The first time, or even before I met Master Tatang, Tony Diego, Master Romy, and Edgar said, "Look, don't go up to him and tap him on the back. Don't do that. He's gonna hit you. What you need to do is approach him and yell at him and wave at him. Then he'll see you. If he waves back, that's when you approach him." So that was the big warning the first time I met him. But what attracted me to him was more of the legend of him, because I didn't meet him first up. Ray Garland did the Masters of this seminar where he flew in Christopher Ricketts, Tony Diego, and Edgar Solite, and they did a couple of weeks of seminars. That's when I first met the Illustrissimo Lameco system. Before that, I was learning a little bit of Balitawak with Master Tony Dedal, and he used to just teach me for free. But Ray Galang contacted Tony Dedal, and then they said, "Look, there's a seminar. Do you want to go?" But Master Tony said, "Look," Tony Dedal said, "Look, too old for that. You go." And so I went. I tell you what, I've never looked back then. What attracted me to the Master Illustrator was the way they spoke about him. I mean, even the way Master Romy speaks about it until now. The thing that they said was, "Oh, the old man," that's what they call him. The old man just goes up and down. He just hits you up and down, and you can't get through his defense. He hits you up and down, and he'll hit you at will anytime. And I'm thinking, that's what I want. I don't like complication. I like simplicity. Even with what I do with my stuff today, I tend to throw things out rather than collect techniques. And the way I teach my art is, okay, I've got 7 or 8 core techniques. If I see a technique that I like, I don't add it on. I listen. I think about, okay, I really like this new thing. What can I replace? So rather than add things, I have to think, okay, I'll replace that with this. But the thing is, because you're replacing things, you really have to think about everything that you're introducing or everything you're learning. And you're thinking, okay, I'll replace it, but no, I still like this one. All right, and I still keep searching. But with Tatang, you see simplicity of movements, you see minimalist movements, and the consistency. You see videos of Tatang everywhere with people, different people feeding, with different styles feeding. He will move exactly the same way. And it's not like a lot of masters where what they're teaching is this, then when they're fighting it's completely different. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I didn't learn that. But with Tatang, what he teaches you is what he actually uses when he's in front of someone and they're throwing strikes at him. And that's what lured me into the Illustrissimo system, the simplicity, but it's consistent. And it
Yeah.
really felt comfortable with me. Back in the 80s, where I met Tatang 86, 87, I was the tail end. I was probably last of the original generation that
Okay.
met them. Um, FMA in Australia didn't exist. It was so hard to find Filipino martial arts in the mid 80s in Australia. And the only one we knew was Dan Inosanto. I mean, the guy's great. The guy's a fantastic human being. But that was the only FMA in Australia at that time. A bit of modern art, yes, but you couldn't find much of anything else. So the funny thing is, because Guru Dan kind of cornered the market here, if it wasn't Hubad drills, if it wasn't Sobrada drills in Australia, it wasn't considered real Filipino martial arts.
Mm.
That's what I'm introduced to. But when I went to the Philippines and I met all the masters, we didn't have any of that. The drills never existed. It was like, this is the technique, this is how you react, and it all changes up. It's not a constant click, clack, click, clack. Every feed is a different feed. Every feed was a different time. Every feed was a different distance. But the Illustrissimo system, through the simplicity of it, can handle any type of feeding, can handle any type of timing, can handle any type of distancing with basically just the one technique, the one concept. So that's why I love the Illustrissimo system. It's just so easy for me to adapt to rather than remembering all these drills. And here's the thing, I'm left handed. A
Mm.
lot of drills, a lot of systems have to be left on left, right on right. In fact, in the Philippines, Master Tony kept going, "Oh no, use your right." Use your right. No, I want to use my left. I want to use my left. I don't want to use my right. But the Illustrissimo system still managed to, cater for that. So that's what I like about it.
No, no, I mean, fantastic answers from both of you. Thank you. I did get a series of questions from Elric, and one of the first questions for you, GM Romy, can you share any of Tatang's stories of his uncles and their reputations? So the Illustrissimo clan.
Natang's idol was his uncle Melesio, the oldest of the group. And Melesio made a living by engaging in Juego Todos. For every town fiesta, there was a Juego Todo, and he made the rounds of the towns and actually was seen or had participated in bouts from the middle of the Philippines in Luzon all the way down to Zamboanga. Melesio also had a famous practice. He drove a nail through the web of his left foot onto the wooden floor of his house.
Ooh.
Then he pulled out the 6-inch nail and allowed the wound to heal so that it left a hole. And every time Melesio would practice, he would drop the nail through the hole in his foot into the hole in the floor and do his footwork. In matches, he would handicap himself by digging a hole, stepping into it with his left foot until it was almost maybe up to his knees, and fight that way. So he became rather famous. And Tatang was full of admiration for the skills of Melesio. Uh,
Mm.
one time, Melesio was sleeping, taking a nap beside the window. A cat was on the windowsill and jumped over him to get onto the floor because his bed was against the window. And Melesio simply struck out, and the cat died in mid-flight. Stuff like that, Melesio was waylaid by a gang whose champion he had bested in a juego todo. And they waylaid him with spears because they didn't want to come near him. And Melesio simply caught the spears as they came at him and stuck them on his side, left and right, and they all ran away. Melesio was also famous for fighting with his back on the ground. If he could not find a wall to lean against to protect his back, he would lie down on the ground and fight off attackers. And and Tatang taught us this.
Wow, wow.
So the swordsmanship of his uncle, I think, was Tatang's model or ideal.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Wow. 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 I mean, I remember that name. I've definitely read that name, but I didn't know the significance of the impact they had on him until your story. Wow. That is something. So, did you? How did you guys, as far as training go? And this could be for both of you. And this is another question that was submitted. Can you share about the private training at Tatang's home in Tondo? What was it like, and how did it differ from the training in Luneta Park?
Well, like any experienced escrimador, Tatang would show very little in public. And if we wanted more, then we would go to his house around, maybe we would leave Luneta around 10 o'clock and practice a little. We have lunch. Uh, it was from contributions of the guys who went with Tatang to his house, prepared by Nang Maring, his wife. And he would take a nap, and maybe at 1:30 we would resume play, and then we would break up at about 3:30. For me, this went on for almost 4 years. I missed out only on Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and All Saints Day, the day for the dead. Because Holy Week, with Good Friday, we were out testing the Anting Antings.
Well, before we get to that, because I have a question as far as that is concerned. Maestro Ray, did
Yes, sir.
you were you so lucky to train with him in Tondo, or was yours mostly the park? Or
No, no, no. I was very spoiled, and I had a very overprotected grandmother. And I actually didn't know this until last year. Apparently, well, I was young then, and my grandmother was really concerned that I didn't know the ways of the Filipino streets. So she didn't like me traveling around all over the Philippines. So I didn't know this, but she took Grandmaster Romy aside because they're from the same tribe, Pampanga. And apparently he made Romy promise or made a blood oath that Master Romy will protect me, whatever, and be with me all the time, which kind of made sense because everywhere I go, I look back and there's Master Romy tailing along. And everywhere I went, Master Romy was there. It was like, and here's group dynamics. When all the masters was walking, one of the masters would lag behind about 20 yards. And I would stop and go, oh, Thingy's fallen behind. Oh, Master Tony's fallen behind. Let's catch up. I said, Master Romy says, no, 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 let's just keep going. And so everywhere I go, either Master Romy's with me or Master Tony's with me, and one of them's lagging 20 yards behind. And I'm thinking, why is that? I mean,
oh,
let's wait for it. I said, no, no, no. Just in case just in case the group gets attacked, the one in the back can come in as backup. I mean, you don't think of that, right? When you walk in a group, you walk in a group, not one person lagging behind. So that's the type of, I guess, environment that the Philippine was on, which I was totally devoid of. So what Master Romy did was arrange, and what Master Tupa did was arrange all of my training at my grandmother's place in Cubao. Hence why some of the films you see the gardens, that was my grandmother's place.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Remember seeing those pics. I mean, what's wrong with Tondo? It's safe, isn't it? No, just kidding.
Here's the thing with
Just what I've heard. Obviously, I've been there, but through the 200 something interviews I've done, when that place comes up, it's like anything but like safe.
No, well, you see, I wanted to see. Master Romy, do you remember when we went to Tatang's place? But here's the thing. See, I wanted to see Tondo because you hear the reputation of Tondo, and I just wanted to visit Master Tatang, GM Tatang. But so Master, I think it was you, Master Romy. Master Romy said, "Oh, well, let's go." Oh, okay. I said, "Well, can I bring my wife?" Now, my wife is an Aussie. You know, hazel eyes, blonde, pretty good looking Aussie. So, well, can we bring him? I said, yeah, okay. So here I am with Master Tony, with Master Romy, in the middle of Tondo visiting Tatang. And it was pretty rough. You know, I mean, it's third world. But the nicest thing is, when we got there, Grandmaster Tatang was cooking dried fish. And he invited my wife to eat with him, dried fish and everything. And I just looked at my wife saying, don't eat it, don't drink the water, don't drink the ice.
I say underneath your breath.
But I think she was the only blonde Aussie woman in the world that's ever visited Tatang in Tondo.
Oh, at that time. Yeah, right. I mean, geez, you're talking like late 80s and Tondo.
Yeah, I think that was nice. The other one was I had a student who wanted to train. Did you, Master, did you meet Russell Weekly? Anyway,
Russell?
Aussie guy went to the
No.
Philippines. He literally just caught a plane, went to the Philippines, and tried to find Tatang. I said, look, go to Luneta Park. He didn't book hotels. He didn't book anything. He just dropped on. He ended up staying with Tatang. And he slept on the floor. I mean, he got dysentery. He got sick, but he just kept training. I mean, I guess that was...
Yeah, he also got through it. I mean, one way or another, and he got through it. I tell you, if I was there and I knew about it and I was going there, one way or another, I'm getting through it, man. I'm training. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm getting through it. I don't, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing. So all the masters would come and visit me. So there was a time when people in Luneta said, "Oh, Ray Floro, we never met him. He's fake. He never learned from the other." That's because they never saw me. All right. That's true. They never saw me train, but I was training at my grandmother's place. And it was really, Matt, can you imagine like 5 masters in front of you spending the whole day and eating with you?
No, I can't. That's incredible.
And it was really nice because I would get up and feed, and it was a very casual thing with food and everything, drinks, and they would talk about the techniques, analyze the techniques, and then say, Master Tony, oh no, this is how it's done. And then Tony would do his interpretation. Then Master Romy goes, oh no, I think this way. So see, at that time we're still sorting out the Illustrissimo systems because it was such a mishmash of techniques. And you know what Tatang's like? Tatang, can you show me this? Oh yeah, okay, boom. Oh, can you show it again? Oh, boom. It's a totally different technique.
Yeah. So
there was 5 of us there with Grandmaster Tatang, and we were analyzing things. And okay, this is how it's done. Oh, okay, this is what it's called. Yeah, but it looked like this. No, it's the same thing, but it's only this that made the difference. Or sometimes 2 of the masters would come in the morning and by lunchtime another two would come in to replace them. Then at the evening time, those two would come here, or in the evening time, all of them would group together. So it
These
was
guys
just
are
a
taking
constant.
shifts.
I know, it was great. But
Jeez.
it was a fellowship. It wasn't, oh, we've got to teach this guy, oh, these are the fees. There was never any fees. And it was just so nice. They just went there as if it was just a social get together. I mean, and it was really nice because when Master Romy flew in to Australia, yes, he did formal seminars, but when he wasn't doing the seminars, we were at one of my students' place, Jason Dre, and it had that feeling
Mm.
of that. Like Master Romy was there, a few students was there going through the techniques, and Master Romy would stand up and say, "Oh no, do this, this, this." Then he would sit down. Then I would say, "Well, okay, do this." That was like the informal training, but it was constant. It was never, okay, let's do this for an hour. No. As some people were eating and snacking, two people would be working things out and we would be looking at them and then, oh, no, no, that's how you do it. And he would get up and the other guy would sit down, they would eat and drink, and it was just constantly like that. So, fond
No, it's
memories.
just like it just sounds like it was just a special time, special people, something that will never be replicated, unfortunately. GM Romy, can you see this picture? Or and actually, and same for you, Maestro Ray. Can you guys see this picture?
I can't see anything.
Oh,
What?
Um,
yes. There's
GM Romy.
myself to the left, Raymond, and then Tatang, and then Topher, and then Tony.
Yeah,
And seated in front would be Edgar Sulite
An
and
Italian? Oh, I know
Ernie
that. Yeah,
Alan.
that's my grandmother's place. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so Elric posted this, so I was able to snatch it from him. He posted an FMA discussion. It just was obviously picture speaks a thousand words. It's just yeah. So GM Romy, like how it must have been really special when all you guys were together and cross
There was no
training and
politics. There
kind
was
of
no
sneakers.
politics. None.
Yeah, yeah, it's like I'm sure it wasn't. Like so GM Romy, that must have been like really special. You guys were like trying to figure out like what he was doing and try to write down, film it. I mean, can you speak on that special time? Or
yes. The first 4 years were really very special because of the camaraderie, the friendship, the
Mm.
bonding, and the common effort to understand a system which was strange to practically everyone. Even those that had done Arnis found Tatang's Arnis strange and unusual. So I was there trying to figure out and writing down uh, the results. And then Tony and I on a weekend would get together and discuss item by item the conclusions of the previous week's research. And it took us 4 years to figure this out.
wow.
Uh-huh. Everybody says Tatang did not have a system for teaching. Of course not. He was not a teacher. He was not making a living by teaching.
Mm,
He was making a living by using his skills. Okay, so but I got a clue towards the third or fourth year because he said maraming estilo ang eskrima ko. And then he proceeds to enumerate the techniques, the estilos, the styles of his eskrima. And the most glaring fact is that he enumerated them from long range to close range. And that is how eventually we were able to classify the techniques according to measure and according to the type of contact with the blade, if there was any contact with the blade. Raymond was there when I finished the archiving work, and we had the picture of it with Tony Diego.
Wow.
And yes, it was a beautiful time. And going back to Raymond's grandmother, when she heard me, she said, "You're Kapampangan, aren't you?" Because by the way that I speak. And she said, "You are a Macapagal." Yes. And she traced our family lines. And it turned out that she was an aunt 2 or 3 times removed. And in the Philippines, you
Oh,
follow
wow.
these bloodlines very carefully. So he told me, "You take care of your nephew. Don't let him out of your eyes."
You were
I didn't know.
assigned with the task of protecting Ray Floro and not getting into trouble with his Aussie girlfriend.
Should have
Or
been the
wife.
other way around.
Oh,
Sign me up.
No,
Mm.
I'll have to say, in the golden years, Christopher Ricketts had a great influence in that group, in that he insisted on sparring. So everything that was learned, let's spar this. So with that, with the gatherings of the masters at my grandmother's place, there was this constant flow of Tupa's students, like always coming. I was like, okay, let's spar, let's spar, let's spar. So it's always fun. And you saw me spar Miguel Subiri, Senator
I
Miguel
did. I
Subiri,
did. I did see that.
in one of those, and it was just nice because you're learning the theory, then you're sparring, you're trying to spar. So the development was not only the theory but also the practicality and seeing it being performed or seeing it being successful, inspiring. And it was really nice because again, all the masters were there, and they say, "Yep, okay," and then after that, they would analyze it. But the nice thing is, as you're sparring, you kind of get the fever. So even Edgar says, "Look, I'll put the mask on. Let's go." You
It
know?
just was. I've seen a lot of those videos, and because I just before I got started, I mean, I was going on YouTube watching everything. I mean, I was making a case study out of it, just watching over and over and over again, like of anything else. And I specifically remember watching like GM Romy, you and Tony were, I think, assisting like with you, like you guys were seemed like in concert, like helping Maestro Ray, and I definitely remember seeing those vids. I thought that whole collection is just fascinating. Just and right, you guys were all together, and
We were so unified. We were such a family. It's just a shame that it changed.
well, through these episodes, I'm trying to, as much as humanly possible, whatever impact I can have, trying to unchange that. I think it's
And you're doing a good job.
it's so stupid. I mean, it behooves a student to seek out everybody and all that. I can tell you right now, I mean, I love watching your guys' videos. Why? I want to be the best version of myself. I want to know like what everybody does and how they do it differently. And that one, that's just my opinion. But
you see, at that time, there was nothing different. It was all the one. It was Tristamo system. There were no factions. There was no lineages. All of it was just the one thing, and nobody claimed, "Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that." No, it was all the one learning journey.
and yeah, and the pillars.
No, I think the turning point, and I don't blame him because he didn't know anything. Oh, he didn't know what would happen, but it was that book by Mark Wiley. For some reason, when that book came out, it was like,
Oh, you think that had a significant impact?
pillars.
Oh, yeah.
That was never used.
The pillar, yeah. I mean, that's been pretty much
all
substantiated.
we didn't use guru, we didn't use master, we didn't use. I mean, Tatang was just Tatang, not Grandmaster Tatang. And Mang Romy was just Mang Romy, not Grandmaster Romy. Or Tony was actually just Tony. And then that book came out, and then it was pillars. And then Master Romy wasn't even mentioned, And then one book kind of mentioned me, and it was all lies. But anyway, let's not get into that. But I
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah,
that was
no,
a
no, no.
defining
But
point.
I think in my opening statement, it's just what I've experienced and starting because I'm doing PTK themes and all that. But I think you have to bring out some of the truth to remedy the situation, to realign things, reunite things if humanly possible, assuming that everybody on board wants that. So I'm willing to bring the truth out. People can be mad at me. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
and look, you did a great intro to today. Like Master Romy is not mentioned, and yet he's there all the
I saw it. I
time.
saw in the videos. Yeah, yeah. No, I know. It's yeah, that's stuff that's bothersome. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just think when you leave people out or I don't know. I just think there's obviously better ways that handle that. But some Jim Romy. I mean, so what was that time? I mean, like God, you guys are all together. I mean, so after the Australian trip, you guys come back. You guys still working together? I mean, I've seen you in the vids at Christopher Ricketts' house. I mean, formulating curriculum, everything.
Yes, actually, Super was a junior in a kung fu club where I was a senior. I'm about what 9 years older than Super, and it is from this Red Lightning Kung Fu Club, Choi Liput, headed by Gonzalo Vito, where sparring became the norm. You
Mm.
learn the technique, you sparred it. Then, if you made mistakes in sparring, you did the exercise again because it consists of about 84, 85 movements, one exercise. And you check where you made wrong movements and then you start it again. So when Tupper and I met again, because we were separated for some time because of my work, and we met at Luneta and we started to spar right away because that is what we knew. That is what Tupper knew I would do. Uh-huh. So sparring became the norm for Luneta. Otherwise, it would have been just forms.
Wow.
So
Um,
it was the first 4 years were really wonderful. Uh, they were Camelot.
that's just too bad. That's really wow, wow, wow. So, jeez.
Ray was Ray was in the Philippines about 3 months out of every year. For how many years, Ray? 3, 4 years? 4 years,
86, 87, 88, 89, 90, maybe 5 years.
maybe 5 years. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
and every time uh, Grandma was there, keeping watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Always
Making sure he's
pulling
not
out.
going to get.
He was my shadow, but he
I
was
was the
made to do it.
babysitter,
Wow. Um,
and we would play the whole day. And like any Kapampangan household, the food just kept on flowing
kept
all the
coming.
way
Yeah,
to past midnight.
Food, drink, training.
Training, training,
training,
training,
eating,
training.
training,
In the
eating,
presence
drinking,
of
but no
Tatang.
alcohol.
No
My
alcohol.
grandmother said no
No,
alcohol.
no, no
Oh,
way. No way.
oh, oh.
Not a
Okay.
drop.
No alcohol. Okay.
Not a drop. Uh,
But here's the
anyway,
thing, though. He's the secret. He's the secret technique of learning for Tata. Jack Daniels or Johnny Walker. What you do is you give him whiskey, and he would start drinking. The more he drank, the younger he became. The more information flowed out, and he was
Mm.
just continuous going. And it was like, okay, you go up, and I'll show you this, and everything came out. But there's a tipping point. He keeps drinking, keeps drinking. If he goes over this limit, then his control goes out the window. So the guy feeding is starting to get hit now. So there's this point in
And
time when you gotta
combination
regulate it, or it
whiskey and
gets
edge
dangerous.
weapons. No.
Edge weapon, always edge weapons, always edge weapons.
Jeez. I want to go into something. I mean, I got a ton here, but something that you guys, really stress and all that, and that's measure. And and gaps and timing and measure, and that really resonates with me. And before we get into it, I want you guys to both speak on this. But GM Romy, it's obviously it's important. I've heard you articulate this in the book and on the vids. Is it getting lost today?
Yeah.
Practically gone.
Yeah.
Too many drills, click-clacking of sticks,
Mm.
makes you lose measure. There is measure where you touch weapons, but not only the weapons are used.
Mm.
The live hand supposed to be, but the live hand is practically never employed.
Mm.
Uh, just like any combat principle, the more resources you bring against your opponent to overwhelm him, the better your chances of victory or assurance of victory. But if you're only using one hand and the weapon against his one hand and his weapon, then you're equal. So you need to overwhelm him. So you bring in the left hand.
Mm.
And to be able to bring in the left hand, you have to bring in the left foot, what Tatang calls the thief, and the pickpocket.
Pickpocket. Okay.
The left foot is the pickpocket because it is surreptitious. It is unseen. If your opponent can see your left hand, he is not aware of your left foot and how it has positioned you to be in a superior position against him. So you actually have four limbs, two hands and 2 feet
Mm.
against one limb of his. Because by crowding him, he loses the use of his feet. And Tatang takes advantage of this by bringing you down. It is something that no one does now. But I've seen Yuli try to repeat it, try to bring it back, but I guess he may have forgotten. But he's still trying to do that. I have to say this one thing. I don't want to discuss any of the other guys, but
Yeah. No. No.
I
No.
will,
No. That's fair.
no,
Yeah.
no, I will tell you something about Yuli. Yuli, for our competitions, was the one who selected the techniques out of Tatang's repertoire. Those that he thought would be successful in the competitions that we held almost every other month with Narafil. And he would train the guys. And we almost always came out with one, two, and three. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And later on, when Yuli started to teach actively because he was a security for the mayor of his town, he was a security for a road project, etc., etc. When he started to teach abroad in many countries, all the way to Chile, he was able to present the Combate General very, very capably. So that is what I can say about Yuli. But you know, Yuli sometimes has a very funny, sometimes twisted sense of humor. Okay, twisted in the sense that you need to know him to understand his humor.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was very enjoyable to be with Yuli as long as the the old friendship was a tool in the relationship. If you were not an old friend, then nada.
Okay. Okay. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. Wow.
So that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Especially about Yuli because it was Yuli who first discovered Tatang.
I keep hearing that.
Yes, Yuli saw Tatang when the Tatang was invited at the YMCA in Manila. And from there, he went directly to Tony's place at the pier where Tony was working. And, Yuli can blab on and on. And finally, Tony said, I want to meet this Tatang. So he asked for directions to how to get to Tatang and asked Tatang for instruction.
Mm.
Everybody else would have said, yes, and the fee is like this. But Tatang said, no, this is only for me.
Mm.
Oh, Tony kept on flying Tatang with gifts, an old tarp because his roof was leaking, bananas, or whatever. And finally, after about a year, Tatang relented because there was a visitor, and Tatang showed his visitor a particular move,
Mm.
and Tony was present. And then he said, anyway, since you saw it, uh, come back tomorrow and I'll teach you.
Okay. Okay.
But teaching for him was not teaching like you step forward with your right foot and then you do this and then you do that. No, it was try to hit me, and then he would do his technique. And if you remembered it and could do it again, then you're lucky. If your eye didn't catch the detail, then you're unlucky because it will not be repeated.
All
You'll
right.
have to wait a long time before that particular movement will be repeated.
Just to be able to do that, like, so, wow, that's just, man, this is incredible history. I did hear that Yuli was a, wow, 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 wow. That's amazing. So, um, what do you know, the whole thing with why, and again, I'll take the hit for this. I'm fine with it. Here's my opinion, and you guys tell me if I'm way off base or not, or, is it that the measure and is not taught because it's difficult, where it's easier to teach defensive movements, maybe for the Westerners? Am I off base here, or?
No, it was the influx. Okay, Illustrissimo became really popular. Westerners started to come and wanted to learn it.
Hmm.
But the thing, here's what I found. Especially teaching in Australia. If I teach it the way I was taught in the Philippines, in a class environment, it never works. I've been teaching since 1989. If I could structure, here's the thing: if I could structure this in a class environment, I'd earn more money. But the style suffers. It's a one-on-one thing. It's an interactive thing. I need to feed you a certain way to get the movement out. You can't just say, okay, do an angle one, okay, you do this, and you learn the stress. No. I got to feed it in such a way that it brings out the way I want you to move. How can you do that in the class environment? In the class environment, you just have to do drills. You just have to do
Mm.
drills. You have to do set things. And you can't learn proper distance and timing with that. Distance and timing is interactive. I mean, it's great that the Illustrissimo system now is so well known, but there's no way you can teach it via class. And the thing is, Westerners, they expect drills.
They do.
I've had Americans visit me, and
They
because
do.
I didn't base it on Hubbard or Sombrada,
From the
they think it's
ensemble,
all
I know.
fake, or they don't want to know anything about it. But you know what?
No,
It's
I
their loss. I
know.
don't care. I
I
don't
know.
really care.
No, I know. I
I'm
know.
presenting you the information. Well, it's up to you whether you want to accept it or not as it is. But the way Illustrissimo is, I mean, just look at the videos. It's really random. You know what I mean? It's not structured. And if you can't embrace the randomness of learning, you won't learn the essence of it. If you try to structure it, you lose the essence of Illustrissimo.
Yeah, the reason I bring this up is
Now,
I've never seen
Lamento
make
is
contact. Like,
yeah, look,
I've never seen him
Lamento is
block.
extremely popular in the USA. Why? Because Edgar structured it. Edgar structured it. But you notice that even if I move like this, it looks robotic. Other than when I'm doing this
Hmm.
randomly, it doesn't look robotic. You see.
No, no, no. I totally get you. But here's the thing. When I watch all these videos of him in the past, and GM Romy, just let me know your thoughts on this. Like, and I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying what I've been exposed to, what I've watched. I've never seen a guy block or deflect. So my question keeps going. Well, why is part of the curriculum so focused? I'm not saying everybody. I don't want people to get the wrong idea or misconstrue, but why did some seem to be so grounded that area if he wasn't when he wasn't even doing it? So GM Romy, am I incorrect or am
You
I
see, you
wrong?
are correct. But okay, the Illustrisimo system is based on an old fencing style from Spain, a style that was developed over 80 years of fighting, trying to evict the Muslims from Spain for 80 years.
Mm,
Because previous to that, the Muslims had occupied Spain for 700 years. And 80 years of consistent fighting, castle after castle, province after province, developed a system of fencing called Esgrima Común y Vulgar. Común y Vulgar means the common folk, the fencing of the common folk, because these were the people that were utilized in the armies to fight off the Muslims. Comes now the time that Spain ventures out into the world because they divided the world between themselves and Portugal.
yeah,
Okay.
they're on a
Um,
mission.
and, yes. And they brought this system of fighting into the New World. And when they came to the Philippines, they found, hey, here are the Muslims again.
We can't get rid of it.
The Muslims
Everywhere.
were actually
Here, there, everywhere.
okay. So they keep on fighting, they keep on fighting. And eventually, between the what we call that Moro Fighting Arts (MFA),
Mm,
which nobody I think knows anything about unless you are a true Muslim. Okay, and so they used what they knew worked against the Muslims, and they taught this fighting art to the new converts, to the militia of Indios. We were called Indios, not Filipinos. Okay.
Indios. Okay.
Yes. Later on, in the middle of the Spanish conquest, the saber came into favor in Europe, copied after the Indian talwar and the kilich of Turkey. And it seemed to be a more efficient way of fighting, you, especially when you are using new troops
Mm,
of no previous fencing experience. And this required click tracking. You parried by hitting the blade of your opponent. You threw it aside with your parry and then you struck. So it was a two-beat technique
okay.
versus the esgrima común, which was essentially a single beat technique. Meaning to say you delivered your attack because you parried with your left and dispatched your opponent in one beat.
Mm.
That's why Satang said, if it consists of more than two beats, it is not my esgrima.
That makes
And
complete sense.
yes,
Okay.
and that is why uh, you see very little sword contact with the Tatang videos.
Right.
But you
That's what
see,
I'm saying. Like I'm not saying blocking or deflecting. Like
we just insert his strike where it is open. He said, strike where it is open. So why
uh,
you strike where it is capable of being blocked?
A person is most vulnerable when he's hitting, and that's the timing.
Yes.
I usually hit a person right there. That's where
mm,
or right here. I don't hit it there. It's there, there, or there. They
right.
can't
When you
block it.
strike. Right. I mean, anybody's vulnerable when you strike. I mean, you could be non-telegraphic, but there could be the smallest gap where you could be exposed. right?
And what Tatang does is set that up. He will set it up so you do that. If you see him, he's kind of like, he's waiting all the time. He's waiting all the time. But as soon as he do that, he'll go back and go here. Or as he goes back, he'll hit. That's why you need proper distance, because if you don't have proper distance, you'll get hit yourself.
Yeah, right. If you don't manage it, there's not a thing that you guys have said about that I don't agree with. I'm just wondering what happened. You know what I mean? And I think like the Westerns came over, like you guys said, and then just
You can't teach that in class. It's got to be one-on-one. How do you teach? Okay, hit me now. Or as I'm coming in, okay, step back and hit me now. It has to be 1, 2, 1, 2. You cannot teach that in class because everyone's uncoordinated. Look, they don't know the timing. I've tried to break it down with the timing, but it just doesn't. It's not. It's a syncopation. It's not on the beat. It's on the quarter beat. You see? That's when you hit. See, it's not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's 1 and a 2. Then that's when you hit. You see, that's when you hit. And you can't teach that because even if you say, okay, go slow.
yeah.
All right, now you hit. And I usually tell them, your counter should start right there. You see, as soon as you see the point, see distance, the blow's coming in. Okay, I just missed. Now I start my attack.
Okay.
And what a lot of people do, they do this. They go here, then they start their attack. You've missed the
Where the
beat.
person to recover, they have an opportunity to recover their strike and get back, but wait till pass nose, center, get behind.
Correct. So as soon as this comes, this is when I start my attack. Boom.
No, makes
Try teaching that.
sense.
Try teaching that. It's really hard.
Yeah, I know. I can see what you mean. It's one-on-one. So I mean, so GM Romy, is it lost? You think it's gone? I mean,
No, it's not. Every single person I have taught, I started on measure.
but you're okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And measure is something that has to be developed slowly and patiently so that it becomes integrated into your system. Your eyes give you feedback, your body obeys the feedback, and you are safe while your opponent is not. But you've got to check this. You've got to have a feedback system. And Tatang teaches this or showed it. There is actually there is one of the very first videos taken of Tatang and Topher. I think the video was taken by one of Topher's assistants. And here Tatang is showing the retirada very, very clearly, but nobody took notice.
Mm.
Okay, except Raymond, because if you didn't know, Raymond was going to the Olympics to represent Australia, but his father did not allow him because his studies would be disrupted. So instead, he brought Raymond to the Philippines. So Raymond knew measure, was already schooled in measure because he was going to be representing Australia in the fencing Olympics.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, and
Okay.
you know,
Holding
The
back.
secret
and you know, one,
sauce. I actually
Raymond,
tell my
everybody said
students, look,
before,
if you want to develop more of what I do, take up fencing.
I hear.
Because
I hear
exactly.
because the
fantastic.
attributes it develops is really good.
No, I heard
The
nothing but it.
reason,
Yeah.
the reason I understood Tatang well is when we were doing our kung fu, the place where we were doing our kung fu belonged to one of the families uh, whose son was involved with us. And the father was a former Olympic fencer,
Mm.
Pepe, and he taught me how to fence. And it's very simple, requires timing and measure.
Right.
So I use that sense of measure in my kung fu, in my Choi Li
Mm,
Fu. Okay. And when I saw Tatang, I saw the elements of measure all over again. So it was easy to learn from him, even if you're just watching, because he does not explain with words.
mm,
He will explain with emotion,
right. Okay. Okay.
with a muestra. But you need to understand what that muestra means. Excuse me.
Oh, here we go.
The biggest thing about measure and the biggest mistake people make with measure, if you're not there to be hit, you're not going to get hit. So that's the good thing about measure. But the biggest mistake people make is they move too far back. You
Oh,
know,
when they have an
strikers,
opportunity.
the strikers coming in and they jump back.
Right.
Okay, you don't get hit,
But
but
you
it
have an
nullifies
opportunity.
the counter attack. When
Gotcha.
you move back, you need to move back just enough. So
Mm,
that, see, when you move back just enough, you don't even have to counter like this. All you need to do is extend your arm. I've spotted people a foot taller than me, and they've never reached me, and yet I'm reaching that. Why? Because when they come in for the attack, I just move back enough, and even though they're at full stretch, all I have to do is do this to hit their head. You
right.
see,
And that is the unpulgada.
Oh, just this
Unbogata.
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the secret here
Unpulgada
is
means
not
1
making
inch.
the mistake of moving back too much. You need to know how to move back enough.
Just so you
That's
have
the secret in
opportunity.
measure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Because when people spar, they're scared of getting hit.
Mm.
So they try to be as safe as they can.
Safe distance.
And to do this, they fence with the weak, the tip.
Okay.
They do not fence with the middle, or even much less like Tatang, who will fence with his strong. The tercias, the thirds of the sword.
Surgeon. Okay.
Okay. And if you are scared, it's because you have no footwork. But footwork is easy to develop.
Mm,
Unfortunately, much of the training has been with drills, and people are static, so they never learn how to use their feet.
And,
So,
and it's true. It's true. People are scared of getting hit. So that's where the blocks come in. What you do is you move out, but see how my block is here? See how my block is
mm,
closed?
right.
Just in case I miscalculate, there's my block. I don't reach out to block.
No, right.
When I
No,
move
it's
back, see
hard.
I move back, see how I'm pulling everything back.
Mm,
So if I do it right, it's just gonna miss me on pulgada. Then see how my arm is back and cocked. All I have to do is do that.
just
Whereas if
extend.
I block and reach out, I've got to pull back. I've missed the time. Okay, and I've opened myself. Whereas if I go here, okay, he's on full stretch. Bam. See, I'm going here. I'm
Mm,
still moving back, but see how I'm striking out. I'm moving back, but I'm striking out. But at that stage, you're here, and I've got
yeah.
this. I don't need to lean forward because that motion will reach you because I've got a weapon. Okay, see that timing,
No, it's
timing is
fascinating. It's yeah. It's like I find it so fascinating. I mean, just like yeah, expose them, like you said, and but you're like yeah. And I think the sparring, like Jim Romy said, the fear, maybe they don't want to look bad. To me, I think also the reluctancy to fail. You know what I mean? Like
that. Yeah,
embrace
yeah, 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 yeah,
failure.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't, like the fail. I mean, I don't mind failing as long as I know there's an objective. I mean, failing without an objective, well, that kind of stinks. You know what I mean?
You know, no, it's true. It's true. And see, the thing is, if you teach in a class environment, everyone's watching you. I can't fail. You know. Oh, yeah. Whereas one on one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The way
right,
I
yeah.
teach the distancing, I will feed slowly to my students. They're not allowed to move. Okay, they're just swaying elastical, and I get okay. I'm gonna hit. I want you to move back just enough so my stick brushes you. So moving back, I'm just lightly touching you. Moving back, I'm just like so they know how much to move back. If the strike comes in and I move back this way, what's the point in that? I just need
Mm,
to brush it. I need to brush it. That way you know when to move back. You know how far to move back. Moving back too much nullifies the counter. Okay.
yeah,
You
exactly,
miss the
right.
timing.
Wow. So, so how do you, well, GM Romy, I mean, how do we, so, I mean, obviously you're teaching your students that. I mean, Sean, obviously, Master Ray, JJ. I mean, how do we get others to do it? I guess I don't know. I
It's
don't.
hard. It's hard in a group environment. You see.
I'm,
I mean, the
I,
natives doing a good job in that they're propagating the art,
yeah.
but there's plenty of them there. I mean, for
Mm,
the main instructor to spend time with each and every one, you see. So, I mean, that was the luxury we had back in my grandmother's day. Like, one instructor would come in and work on me, and when he gets tired, the other one comes up
no,
and
I
he
know
takes over. When
that's
he gets
amazing.
tired, the other one comes up and takes over. You see, and then
No,
as you're doing it, you see four others going, "Oh, your foot is wrong, your body's wrong." It's like
yeah,
like a sensory overload.
yes. I mean, just to have that at your disposal. I mean, like you guys both mentioned. I mean, it's just a special time, that you guys had. I mean, yeah. I mean, and again, like we brought up in the test run, like making the weapon contact, making it, as GM Romy said, 2 beats instead of 1 beat, and
Yeah.
you know, hmm.
See,
So,
see, see. The weapon contact. See, instead of going block, strike, you go this motion. See this motion there?
correct. Yeah,
That
yeah,
motion. See, there's my roof block. Roof block counter. Rather than going 1, 2 or 1, 2, it's just that one time. It's the same with Australia. A lot of people going 1, 2. No, Australia's like that.
yeah.
See how it comes
Right.
down. See, the parry is there. It's not 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 1, 2. See the time? It's 1, 2, as opposed to that's basically the
Mhm.
one time. See,
No, yeah, no,
1, 1, 2.
yeah.
And the same with sombrada. See, instead of 1, 2, it's see the time. Now, if you move back and he misses, fantastic. But if you move
Mm.
back, you miscalculate, you parried it, then go
Yeah, at least
there.
you got a safety mechanism. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
So
everyone's doing it right.
yeah,
It's just the wrong time. The
yeah.
timing, the timing.
So
Yeah.
GM Romy, what can you just, I've always been fascinated with these two techniques, and I try to understand them as well as I can. Media Frile and Frile, like, were they there? I mean, I know it's Spanish. Should I be fascinated with these or should I not bother?
Medyo fraile is saber fencing.
Saber fencing. Okay.
Yes. The friars that were assigned to the Philippines were ex-soldiers in the previous expeditions.
Okay.
When they went back to Spain, they didn't want to go back being farmers. So they took up orders and became friars in about a year's time or two.
Mm,
And they took ship and went back to the colonies. So these gentlemen or friars knew how to fence, both with the small sword, the espadin, and with the saber. And the Indios who were watching the friars fencing in the courtyards of the conventos watched the movements and learned how to use them. But media, because one half or semi. So it was semi-friar because saber fencing was associated with friars. So fraile, media fraile actually means semi-friar, a fencing method borrowed from the friars because about 1760 the saber came into use.
Fascinating. Wow.
Yes,
So,
and when you're teaching new people, then it's easier to teach them two beat movements rather than that very elegant single beat movement to evade and to hit at the same time.
mm,
Takes time to train, but you teach them double movements, two beat movements, and they're safe. But even the two beat movement can be reduced in time. It can become a beat and a half
as opposed to two beats. Okay.
as opposed to two beats. It can be a one half beat and another half beat
Okay. Okay.
because of the distance that your sword has to travel in order to perform the acts that
Mm,
you want to do. So that is the sophistication of Tatang's fencing or eskrima. He had refined it more than ever from what he learned from his forebears, from his uncles, from
mm,
his grand uncles, because one of the grand uncles of Tatang was Agapito Ilustrisimo, a rebel who fought against the Spaniards and took refuge in Banahaw Mountain and established a sect, a religious sect. However, so Bantayan was Bantay means to watch out. So it was a lookout place. It was a lookout island. The Moros would pass through Bantayan twice during the year. After they hit Cebu, they would go past Bantayan, try to take Bantayan, and if they couldn't get slaves from there, they would go on further north. When the wind turned, the monsoon changed, then they would go down again and hit Bantayan again. So the Bantayano became skilled fighters. And that is why you have Villabrille, a nephew of Tatang, and even today there is Lot, who's what, maybe 82 years old, okay? And he was written in a book by, about in a book by Ned Napange and Makachor. Anyway, so Bantayan became a place famous for its fighters and its swordsmen
okay. Wow.
because of that double exposure
Other
to attack,
morals. Right. Okay.
yes, against the Moro.
Fascinating.
Anyway, and Tatang's life uh, gave him opportunities to exercise
Mm,
skills more than most people would have in 4 or 5 lifetimes.
yeah.
He compressed 4 or 5 lifetimes into one. Anyway, so
Really.
that's your media fraile for you.
Okay.
Fraile is hitting the attacking sword with the back of your sword, with the flat of your sword, and
Okay.
sometimes with the edge of your sword.
Okay.
So you have all four surfaces available to you.
For full
It is a
Friday.
bit,
Okay.
yes, it is a bit crude because it requires striking and beating away the attack before you can attack your opponent. But
Mm,
it is safe. And when you are teaching troops, you want a shorter teaching time and you want an effective method. All combat is based on stopping the attack
mm.
and hitting.
Yeah.
Let's look at modern combat today.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
missile, and it goes to its target, and when it hits the target, it explodes.
Yeah.
You don't stop the explosive charge. You stop the delivery system.
Mm.
And if you can, you stop the command center from ordering the attack.
Computer. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So what is so different? I have a sword in hand. I attack you. This is the explosive charge. The arm is the missile.
Yeah.
Okay. If you stop this explosive charge, another strike will come. Useless.
Yeah.
So you stop the delivery system. You cut off the arm. Then you cut off the head.
Makes total sense.
Same principles.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it makes total right. Like if you're blocking the weapon, he's going to have an opportunity to attack again. No, no, it makes
Yes.
total sense. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's fascinating. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, Friday is really good for setting up some. That's what I use it for. You know what I said, when you're hitting someone, then you move back Lastica, then you hit them there. That's when you hit them. So your opponent is going to do back and then hit. So as I hit, he's going to lean back, then he's going to clobber me there. Friday is good against really good people that can do that with the timing. What I do with my students is I do really fast non-telegraphic strikes. Then I kind of do a lazy wide one like this. And then I kind of pause there. And they see my head explode. They can't help themselves. They'll just, I've got them now, boom. But as they're coming down here, that's when I do the Friday.
Oh, you can pull range it out and pull out.
Yeah,
Oh,
from there.
okay.
But you can do it. You can do it several ways. You can do it with a bedtime like this. But what I usually do is I just hit it there.
Oh, just
Because the attack comes here. And what I do, I hit their blade upwards. So if the blades come this, I hit it upwards. And it sails over my head, you see. It's not actually a block, it's a redirection. So as the counter is coming this way, I hit it, I beat it up. See, I beat it up and over. And as I go there, I beat it up. It's really good because they're doing this, the strike goes there, and I do that. Now they're exposed. Okay.
Oh,
And I
okay.
do that a lot. I just go, oh, the blade's too heavy. Oh, look at my head. As the blade comes in, I just hit it up, and I got them down there. You can hit it up this way, or you can hit it up this way. Okay.
I'll come up to okay.
And if you notice Tata, he'll stand there, and his guard is always down. That if you throw something, that's his initial defense. What he'll do, he'll just redirect your blow up, boom, see, up and down, up and down. See, it's not like 1, 2. It's basically it's like you're lifting up there. See, as you go, bam, see, bam, and then he'll follow up with this. Okay.
That's wow.
So yeah, develop it because it's really good to set up people, especially when they're good.
Right. That makes total sense. Right, and just come up. Yeah. Wow. We got okay. Question. I just want to make sure because I did these Alex question that he was able to get from different folks. What? Okay. Number. Can you? Okay. How did he give you spear knowledge or empty hand training, Jim? Any spear training, Jim, Romy?
The spear is used. The spear is used for ambush.
Ambush. Okay.
Okay. There is no such thing as face-to-face spear fighting.
Okay.
Houses in the Philippines, in rural Philippines, are walled with tuts, which a tut can go through.
Back in 2-6.
Sure.
Keep going.
And if you hear a prowler going around your house, then you lie in wait and spear him through the wall.
Okay.
That's the usage of the spear.
That's the spear.
But face-to-face spear fighting, very, very little. The spear is an ambush weapon in the Philippines.
Neat. All right. What about as far as the empty hand? Like, did you get a lot of empty hand training from him?
There is a lot of empty hand mixed in with the sword work because you need to grasp, you need to control, you need to push down, bring down your opponent. And this is called dumo. And sometimes it is called buno.
Buno.
To be clear, buno is more like wrestling, where you engage your opponent's limbs with your own limbs. But dumog is pressing down, overwhelming, smothering your opponent, bringing him down to make him helpless. And that is what Tatang taught.
Cars.
It was a kind of stand-up wrestling,
Okay.
a kind of short, short, short style jiu-jitsu. No
Okay.
long movements, all very short movements. The arms and hands very close to the body, the feet close together and used to trip and to upset your opponent. And the objective really was slave capture.
Mm. Okay.
So you didn't want to harm your victim too much, otherwise his value goes down. So you wanted to wrestle him to the ground and make him submit.
Okay.
And there are special exercises and movements.
Mm.
Sometimes we would strip down to our briefs and lay a canvas on the floor of the garage and oil our bodies all over, just like those Turkish wrestlers,
Yeah.
and hold a stick in one hand. What is unoiled is the surfaces of the palm.
Okay.
And try to wrestle using the moves of Dumog so that you submit your partner to the point where if he were going to be for the slave market, he's still useful. That is one of the movements or rather techniques of Illustrissimo that is now almost forgotten. And only very few of those that I have ever taught are able to do it.
Wow. Wow. That's too bad. Wow. Um, next question. Okay, so we got that. Just want to make sure. Well, okay. What was GM's favorite blade?
There is a lot of talk about the barong as Tatang's favorite blade.
Mm.
Not so. He killed his first man with the barong, but his other declared kills were done with a crowbar.
Crowbar. Ooh.
Yes, two kills with an iron pipe, a water pipe, mm. and then he had this special iron pipe that he attached two wires, the length of the pipe, and cemented them in place with concrete, so that if you fought him, what you would be aware of is the length of the pipe, but are not aware of the extra length of the wires.
Oh wow.
So we called it buntot ng demonyo, the tail of the devil. And that weapon can cut off a branch the size of my finger.
This is amazing. I've never. Wow.
I
That's
think he filled up the pipe with cement as well. He
Yes,
showed
yes.
me one. It's like a lead pipe filled with cement and these two prongs. There's like these two coat hangers. It's like EDC. It's great.
that's so. Then, with now that the barong wasn't the favorite weapon, moral fighting arts weapons in KI, are they appropriate and what is not? As far as a moral
Not
fighting art.
not for the not for the Spanish influenced movements. Okay,
For the Spanish influence movements, right? Okay.
because the Moro weapons, barong, kris, and kampilan, are wielded in a manner that there is no blade to blade contact.
Blade to blade contact. Okay.
Among the Tausug, especially, even if you kill your man, but your blade is marked either because it was in defense of your victim
Mm.
or you needed to defend yourself, then you lose honor. Your kill is not worth anything. So I've seen people, they hold the barroom and they play with it as if they were playing with with swords, with European swords, side swords. Not so. The European side sword is essentially one third of the way from the tip, sharp. The rest of it is blunt because it's meant for parrying.
Mm.
The edges of Moro weapons are sharp all the way to the handle. They don't want to destroy their edges. The barong, while it looks formidable, is a flimsy blade. It is so thin. The back is very thin, very thick, but it turns in a concave shape so that the edge is very, very fine and can easily be damaged by hitting an object harder than bone.
Didn't heard about. Okay, okay.
Okay, so all of this stuff about click clacking with the barroom, no,
Out the window.
and not also with a crease, which is double edged.
Right.
Okay, and the kampilan, which used to be a mark of royalty, eventually in the Philippine Islands northwards from Mindanao, the kampilan became a favored weapon all the way to the north of the Philippines. But it is always wielded so that it avoids contact with the opponent's weapon.
Mm.
And you are trying to slice your opponent through the gaps because there was honor involved. Aside from the honor of killing, of a kill, you needed to present your blade clean without any markings except those that were made when it cut through bone. This is unknown because the objects of fantasy are to go a la error clean, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Mm. Wow. I mean, that's just. We've got to. Well, it's up to you, GM. If you want, either you want to answer this. Just got there. I've been so immersed with you guys. I'm not paying attention what's coming over in comments because it's so enjoyable listening to you guys, which is a good thing. I've been neglecting my duty as far as. What do you think of the new breed of KI teachers? Do they belong to your group? If not, do you consider them and treat them in equal footing? It's kind of political, so you guys don't have to answer it. So,
To me, if it comes to any lineage of Tony, Romy, Yuli, Tom D, they're all KI. They've just got their own interpretation. To me, they're all KI. It may not look like Tatangs, but
okay.
still KI. But don't say anything against me.
That's all. Yeah, yeah.
I'll
You know
accept
what?
you if you accept me. You know?
Fair enough. You know what? Yeah, yeah. That's. I don't know. I think that's fair enough. Yeah, that's a tricky question. So, I wouldn't answer either. Um, oh, here's one for you, GM Romy. What is your personal favorite blade style? Name and region.
Well, any sword that resembles a saber, and that would be a Zanzibar.
Santa Bar.
But really, the most efficient for Tatang's style would be the Lawihan.
I'm sorry, what was that? Which one?
The Lawihan,
Have you got one?
Lawihan.
Okay.
Oh.
Look at that.
This this
I'll look
piece
at
of wood
that.
is to protect the teeth
Okay.
because this is left at the doorway without a scabbard,
Okay. So
and it's just the right length almost.
is that about 26 inches or
No? The blade is about 18 plus maybe 4 inches, 22.
22? Okay, okay.
There is a kind of rule of thumb among the Malay, and your blade should not exceed the length too much of your forearm and your extended hand, a cubit, a
Interesting.
physical cubit. So
Wow.
it's only about 3 inches, 4 inches longer, but it is very light and it is straight.
Oh, swift
And
and
its
light.
length
Okay.
was as much for thrusting as it is for cutting.
For cutting. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. 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 The Luand. Huh. All right. Um, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any question because I do want to get into your. And I hope I'm not keeping you guys, but this is so fascinating because we got to get to your book.
But
Um,
excuse me, Dean,
yeah,
I want to add that the barong was the first weapon used by Tatang to kill a person.
the first one he used, the
Yes,
guy
but
over beer or
during
something.
his bounty hunting days, he
Hmm.
alternated carrying a kris and a barong because these
No.
were the weapons that were available in Zamboanga.
Okay. Okay.
Later on, when he went and worked as a kapatas, a
Mm,
foreman for cane cutting crews of about 100 or so people, he first carried a kris and then the kris left him and he now reverted to pinuti.
community.
Pinuti means any sword, light sword, that has been whitened
Okay.
because it is for fighting. Typically, it was just covered with oil drugs.
Mm,
Okay. And this is what he carried. So just to settle the matter, because some people will say, why didn't he use the barong? Because the barong is the national sword of the Tausug,
no, that's awesome.
who are a nation by themselves.
Right. 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 So okay.
And the Kris is a subsidiary weapon, and the Kampilan is a mark of royalty.
The market broad thing.
Yes.
Interesting, man. This is just wow. 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 Okay. Let me just. I want to make sure I just didn't forget. Um. Okay. What can you share regarding GM Illustrissimo's daily rituals and Orson? What did Mang Romy witness? Can he describe what he knew of Tatan's tattoo?
Okay, tattoo. When Tatang went back to Bantayan and his relatives, parents found out what he had gone through in Zamboanga, they tattooed an eagle talisman or anting-anting on him to protect him from cats because the weapon was basically the sword and the
Mm,
knife. Okay. And they also gave him oraciones.
mm,
Oraciones are prayers.
prayer.
Okay. Oración is prayer in Spanish. And the oración is meant to provide protection and invulnerability.
Okay.
And it's a complicated subject matter which I don't want to cover right now.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yes, we can do that some other time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
could easily do like a part two, you guys, like just
yes,
based
yes,
on his
mhm,
days in with the
yes,
Sultan and Pedro Cortez, where he fit in, the whole thing there. I mean, that's like, to me, that's an episode like right there. Um,
yes.
but I do want to touch on this though. So what was this had to be a big undertaking. I mean, I'm guessing. As far as I just want to bring it up here, just so folks, I'm sure most have seen it, but those who might not have, far as what was the inspiration, for the book? I mean, like, what, what made you want to do it?
Well, it's part of my background, my work training. I see something unusual, I record it. And I was also instructed by two seniors, Manong Pete Reyes and and my great Johnny Chuten.
Johnny
I
Chutin.
own him. I say my great Johnny Chuten because we were very, very close,
Okay.
and he was a great fighter. And when he saw Tatang, he called me aside and said, Romy, come here. And during those days, your senior in the martial arts was like a god. What he said, you did. You did not just obey, you simply did it. And then said, Romy, I want you to preserve this. It is the most unusual fighting art that I have ever seen. I said, yes,
Mm.
Mano. Then he called Tony. Tony, come here. Runs over. Yes, Mano. You and Romy, you preserve this. You keep this. Yes, Mano. Then there was Pete Reyes, who also told us, Tony and myself, you preserve this system of data. And of course, we had to say this. So Tony and I worked with Raymond here during the 3 months he was here in the year. We worked on archiving the system,
Oh wow. Okay.
comparing amongst us, is this correct? Is this record correct? Is what we are saying he did correct?
Mm.
Because the mind, the memory is very plastic. It
Yeah.
changes. You forget, you add, you change. So it had to be written down. And we wrote it down. And finally, there's the book. But I needed extra research.
Okay.
When the internet finally allowed access to the Spanish manuals, I was able to read the Spanish manuals. And while the language was different, the terms were
Mm.
different. Uh, the description of the movements allowed me to identify which of those movements were being described.
Okay.
Like there is a movement where you stab your opponent from your back. We called it patalikod because you grab his hand, his weapon hand, and turned around. And in Spanish, it's called la torneada, the turn. And with us, we called it paikot. Because while many of the terms in Tatang system are Spanish, they are not peninsular Spanish.
Mm.
They are Mexican Spanish. And there were changes in meaning in the 6 or 8 month voyages between Mexico and the Philippines.
Okay.
But they were always descriptive. But not all of the terms were retained. They were changed in during the instructions to the militia of Bantayan by the elements or headed, excuse me, by Fray Bermejo, El Padre Capitan,
Okay.
the priest captain. Anyway, uh, so the terms in Illustrissimo are in Spanish, but some terms have been re-pronounced or even changed, mainly because very few Filipinos today can actually understand, much less speak Spanish. Uh, so, like Boca de Lobo, the mouth of
Mm.
the wolf, was even pronounced Sukang Iloco, which meant vinegar of the Ilocos of a region in the Philippines because they
Okay.
sounded the same. Okay. So, uh, there were reinterpretations, repronunciations, and this added to the confusion. Fortunately, we wrote it down. Had it not been written down, then I would have acceded perhaps to the new interpretation because my memory is no longer a Bertra.
Yeah. Jeez. How wow, when did you start? I mean, overall, I mean, how long did it take you?
Writing the archive, 4 years.
4 years. Wow, I mean, that's
Yes.
still shit. Maestro Ray, what do you think, man? I mean, amazing,
At
huh?
the book. It's the encyclopedia of Callisto Estrissimo. There's been other books written, but nothing comes near to it. I mean, here
Yeah, as far as the
it's got all the
depth,
terminology, it's got
yeah,
description,
I think
it's
that's
got the
fair.
essence of that. You know, that's why I never really bothered learning the terminologies and the words and stuff,
Mm,
because I knew Master Romy would be around for me to ask him.
yeah, right. I
But
know. I mean,
now
like, yeah,
it's in the book. It's in the book. See, the
yeah,
thing
and I
is,
enjoyed the other
you
books.
kind of need the Illustrissimo experience to get the full benefit of the book. You know,
Yeah,
because of the terms and the descriptions of the movements. I mean, I can read the book and understand it, but for someone who's never done Illustrissimo,
mm,
you kind of need a little bit of knowledge of Illustrissimo. But what I like is it is the complete system in a book. It's never
yeah.
been done. It's
It's
never been done.
yeah. I mean, I've been telling you, right? Like, I enjoyed the other books that have come out previous to this. You know what I mean? But I definitely get this is far more comprehensive and inclusive. I mean, that's absolutely fair to say. And that's nothing against the other books. I mean, it's just that this is
No, no,
just
no.
comprehensive.
It's a big
Yeah,
topic. It's
yeah,
like writing like Game of Thrones and finishing it. You know.
yeah, yeah. Right. No, exactly. But you know, I think I'm just you know I'm just trying to get into it. I just got cut back on interviews. I mean, Jesus. And all that. But what I do like, and I want to bring up for folks who may not know, and a lot of folks don't know this, and there is a video, whole complimentary, well, I shouldn't say complimentary, but a whole video that complements the book. And I urge it. I purchased it, and I'm so glad I did. And I think they're well done. They were done at Master Ray's school there with GM Romy using your students there as getting me. But I thought it was well done. But if you are interested, please contact Master Ray, or he can give you the link and all that. But really
Mm-hmm.
well done, and I tell you a lot. I was amazed. If I'm not mistaken, GM Romy, 3 sections. I mean, it's a lot of videos. I mean, it is a lot. I mean, I think tremendous value for the money, in my opinion. But it really complements thus far how I got in the book and reading it. As far as that, I do want to. I got to ask you something. What Forete? Here's another technique I'm kind of fascinated with. And so Spanish. So are you, when you're coming here and to Frost there, or what are some like your knowledge on it, if you may share? I'm just
Well, that movement where the left hand supports the sword hand is called florete seguidas.
Fred. Okay.
Florete is the foil for thrusting.
Okay.
Florete is one of the terms used by Tatang to mean a thrust. The other word for it is estocada. The, the formal Spanish word for it is estocada, from estoc.
Yeah,
Okay?
interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yes. And the other word for it is tochar. But tochar means to touch, like a woman's cabinet with that large mirror is called a tocador, where they fix up their makeup.
Okay. Okay.
So the three terms, tochar, to touch, is shouted when you make a touch on your playmate.
Okay.
But in formal fencing, it is called estocada
That's the
in
one.
Spanish. Okay.
Wow. 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 Wow.
And in fact, in my tribe, it is the fencing is also called estocada. Anyway, this movement you call this kinabayan. Caballo is the Spanish word for horse,
Okay.
and this movement is called riding the horse. So this is a kinabayan.
See,
Okay, and it is a parry
Perry.
continuing into an attack, a thrust. And in Europe, fencing masters were allowed longer clay swords and typically used both hands for teaching because they would be tired, exhausted after a full week. Okay.
Okay.
So this technique was brought in again from Spain, from Europe, and is a very, very effective way of parrying and attacking at the same time. Although it is an extended hit, it is not tak tak or tak, it is tak, but you are able to take command of your opponent's sword and trap it and continue into a thrust or an attack at the same time.
Mm.
This movement can also be a slicing movement. This movement can also be slicing downwards, slicing circular. It can be a disarming move,
Right.
which
You
is
could
one.
slice, okay, as well as index thrust. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is a also a disarming move in the sense that Tatang would do this and flip your sword or stick out of your hand by leveraging it out because he has the
Wow.
extra power of two hands. Okay. Of course, in Olympic fencing, this is not allowed.
Mm.
But in those areas where they fence, this is a movement that is used.
Yeah.
Because you know
One
what?
So
one
then,
thing about the grip, that was a game changer for me. A lot of people
yes,
think just put your hands on top like this. No, here's a secret sauce. The edge of the hand pushes up against the handle. See that?
yes,
See how it's down here, and now that pressure there, you can get somebody to pull their full body weight down,
no, no,
and
no,
that one collapse. So the secret is the edge of your hand up against the
yes,
handle as well. That is what supports it. So you can take a baseball bat and swing it at me,
Mm.
and I can successfully block it like that
yes,
because the edge
Breaking.
of the hand is pushing down. Now, when you thrust, the thrust doesn't come in. You see how that's lined up? That's foil fencing. You're going to strain your wrist there. When you thrust, it's at this angle, and the point comes in. That see how the point comes in that
You're
it
telling me
doesn't
up on
come in
that.
that
Okay.
way, comes in that way, and this hand, the edge, helps push down on it. You can get a lot of strength from
a
this
lot of
top
leverage.
hand, the edge of the hand, from blocking and from pushing down, or what we call taking the blade, where you block, then you swing it. You can basically throw their blade. You know the old movies where they throw the blade out.
Mhm.
That 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 edge of the hand there is the secret.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
you never let go contact of your opponent's blade.
Never let go. So here, this is where I get some confusement. What is the difference between, and you might have already touched on it, Cabian and Ferrete? So I totally get what you're saying. I'm going here. I can index. I can cut there. But Cabian riding the horse, is that kind of more? Am I on the right track?
It is actually a circular motion like the screw on a like the circle of teeth on a screw. It goes towards the point. So while your circle here is large, it's like a wine corkscrew so that it winds into smaller
Yeah,
circles.
you spiral it. It kind of spirals.
Yes,
See how it's spiraling?
so so bigger to smaller. Okay. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And I hope you don't mind me asking this stuff. I'm just scooping, salok, um, hitting the hand first and coming up, right? Is that
No, the salok is meant to take the side of the sword.
side of the sword?
Yes,
Yeah, the flat
to
of the
go up
sword.
the side of the sword. But with below, your handle is below the line of the cut.
Okay.
Otherwise, if
Oh,
you
okay.
put
The
it
hand
just
below.
down there,
Okay.
it's gonna go
Gotcha.
and go up you. So you put the handle down below the line of the cut.
Got it.
Then you follow the sword and you take it over. And then your final movement is a cut to the hand or to the wrist.
Got it.
And you finish off the second bit of the tiro is a thrust.
So here, falling down, cutting, and then cutting to the hand, and then thrusting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you what the common mistake is, Dean.
Sure.
They think if look, don't look at this. Look at my hands.
Okay.
This is the common mistake. See how my hands are going on a semicircular?
Mm.
That's a mistake. Look at what's it supposed to be. Now I'll take my sword away. Everybody thinks it's this motion. It's actually this. See how it's up and down?
Mm.
It's the sword that goes. See how the sword goes down there?
I do.
Everybody
I do.
thinks it's this. It's not. It's
So down to up, down to
up and down.
Up
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Everything with Satang is up and down. It's never like this. It's up and
It's
down.
not going over there. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the see how my sword, the flat engages,
I do.
then pushes out, then cuts up. But look at my hands. See the efficiency? It's just going up. My hands are just going up and down, but the sword is the one doing that. So.
No, I do. I do. You're keeping your hands center and not. I totally get what you're saying. I do. And last, all right, one more. Well, I got you. I can't. Some Paul.
Let's go through the whole book.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously, I'm gonna have you guys back because to get into other things, I won't be infinite. But some Paul to slap, bump.
No. Slapping is just a term.
Okay.
The slap is actually a push down.
Mm.
If you just do this, slap away, then all you did was waste a bit
Okay.
because it will come back.
They can come back. You're still in danger. Okay, I understand that. Okay.
So he comes in and you push down and make him stretch his elbow and pull him down with it. Then his neck is offered.
So it should be more pushing. I get. Okay. Okay.
Push down, weight with your weight.
With your weight. Okay. Okay.
Again, it's up and down, see? But you do this. See?
That's and then
Because
coming
those are
back.
the most efficient muscular movements.
Center line.
Yeah. No, I'm just. It's fascinating just hearing from you. Hearing from. Yeah. Wow. Are you guys?
It's kind of like a beat attack. In fencing, I call it a beat attack.
Yeah. No. Would you guys be interested in coming back on?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just because I definitely would like to talk about, get more into the his time, in Mindanao and Pedro Cortez, the influence there, and some other things that you guys can obviously speak far better than I can. And then the one question we didn't get to, which required more time, was the prayers and the tattoo and all that.
Yeah.
That sound okay?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, just name a day.
Okay. What? Because man, this 2 hours flew by. Wow. Yeah, I thank you so much, both of you, for coming on. This was so informative and enjoyable. Definitely would love to get you guys back on. I can't see anybody else that's watching this would not agree. But yeah.
No, thank you.
Oh my gosh, pleasure. And GM Romy, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, yes.
I really appreciate it. And please consider you guys coming back on. Matter of fact, I'm going to be looking at the schedule and trying to make it happen sooner and later. Keep the momentum going.
Okay.
And,
I'm good.
And please, either of you, if there's.
It's okay, then I'm okay.
Okay. If there's something too
Oh,
that you guys would like to talk about that maybe I didn't bring up or think of, by all means, please just suggest it. I mean, I'm open to bring up anything you guys want to talk about.
Yeah.
Really, you know. So if there's something,
Yeah.
perhaps, yeah.
I'm very honest.
Okay.
I'm
Well, yeah,
always
yeah,
honest.
yeah. Well, this has been
Like,
all right. So, well, yes, I'm going to download this, and of course, I'll share with you guys, and you guys can post it, whatever. It'll go to YouTube, of course, and like usual. But again, I salute you both. I appreciate you
thank you.
guys coming on. You guys did incredible. I mean, I don't know how many. There's over 100 comments. I just they were coming steam. I was getting
Really?
steamrolled. I couldn't keep
Really?
track. Yeah, it's yeah.
I
So
can't see I can't see any of the comments. So wow.
yeah,
Thanks for everyone
amazing
for watching.
episode. Amazing episode, epic. Steve Grody, huge fan. This one was a good one, you know. So yeah, they're well received, and yeah, tribute to both of you, of course. So again, yeah, I will definitely love to get you guys back on. I appreciate it, and you guys take care. And
Okay,
you know,
thank
it's not
you.
gonna be long. I'm gonna be. I'm definitely gonna be knocking on the door again. All right.
Thanks, Dave. Ma'am Romy, ingat.
oo. Boss, basta, basta
Okay.
ikaw. As long as it's you, yes.
Okay, I'll be there. Every time you're here, I'll be there.
All right, guys. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Wow. That was a good episode. Jeez. Man, I could talk to those guys all night about the techniques and what have you. I definitely like next time, I'd like to get more into the Mindanao. Illustration's training partner from our father's, sparring partner, Pedro Cortez, and some other stuff like that. I really would like to tap into them. Guys, and historically speaking, a wealth of knowledge. So awesome. And a big thanks to GM Bray. I mean, he really helped coordinate this. Albert had a piece in this too, and so big thanks to those guys. Really supportive of what we do. So if you have not already, please subscribe to FMA Discussion, where all the money received from the channel goes to charity. We also have a raffle going on for the Ukrainian refugees. All you need to do is go in FMA Discussion, hit the pin post, and you'll see what we're doing. $10 a ticket, and some great prizes. We're giving books, lessons, what have you. Yeah, really, really good. I'm telling you, just a seminar. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. All right, folks. Thank you for those who sent questions. If there's questions, yes, if you guys sent questions, like message me later when I was already on. I had an episode previous to this, so might not have seen them. Or if there are questions I missed through the comments coming down, please send them to me. Message me privately, because I'm going to be getting them back on. So I will certainly get those questions, to them so they can answer them. I just, again, with all the comments coming through, I'm sure there might have been some I just didn't see. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you.